Hi everyone, Armie Armstrong here. Thanks so much for purchasing your new A-wing XPS Mk II. We're so stoked you got this thing, and we're going to go through how to set this up, pack it down so you can have many sessions with your new gear. Let's open it up, have a look what's in the bag. Crack open the zips. You got your handles, they're wrapped in paper. Once you've got the paper off the handles, you'll notice you've got a longer front handle, a shorter rear handle. There's 3 sizes, small, medium, large. We'll go into a full detail set for the handles in a separate video. Next, you got your wing. Whip that out of the bag. The wing does have some information booklets attached, especially if you're first time winging. Check out this information. There's some important details in there, plus QR codes on how to find these videos and stuff like that. Now, in the bag, there's also a little Velcro pocket in the top. Got your wrist leash, you'll need that, and a repair kit. Hopefully you won't need that, but anyway, that's that. And then in here is some batons. There's a baton tube inside this baton pocket. The longer batons don't come installed. We'll show you how to put those on in a minute as well. So right, that's everything in the bag. Let's get this thing pumped up. Okay. Open your wing out. There's a couple of details like we talked about the batons. Let's go through those first. So in the baton tube, you've got a couple of spares plus the long batons. The short tip batons, they're pre-installed. You can ride without the batons in the wing, but we're going to install them first. So they slip in, there's a little retaining strap. They slip into that, into the back end. Then you bend the front of the baton, slip it into the pocket. One done. Second baton, slip it through the retaining strap into the back end. Now on this baton end, there is a little trick. You can slip the baton in, turn it on its side, and that opens up this baton pocket, which just makes it easier to slip them in. Slip it through the retaining strap into the back end, bend the front into the front. That's that. Handles. Okay, attaching the handles. We're gonna do a full separate detail video about the handles, but I'm just gonna throw these on real quick. The main thing is you got a front and a front handle. So the front of the front handle, it says front. That goes at the front, it's asymmetric. It's got a bigger trigger grip for your front. Back handle can go either way around, and this is the M on the 4.0. So we're gonna whip this in now. For the handle, it's better you put the front end in first. 2 fingers under here, pull your strap, slip that under the webbing. Same with the back handle, front end in first. 2 fingers underneath the webbing, give it a tug, slip the handle in. Now, just make sure the front of the front handle is asymmetric, right? That's the big end for your front handle trigger grip. Okay, let's pump this thing up. Okay, then you grab your pump, you grab your leash, set these things up. Wrist leash comes with the wing. You have a small toggle on it here. This pigtail you can take off. You can attach the wrist leash directly here by slipping this cuff through this loop, or attach it with the pigtail. It's a little bit shorter without the pigtail. Up to you, you got a choice there. If we use the pigtail, we're gonna slip it on. Make sure that's cinched up here. So, cow hitch here, loops onto there. Make sure if you're using the pigtail, this knot is well cinched up tight. Give it a good tug. Tighten it a couple of times, then it'll be fine, but that needs to be tightened properly. And your pump, when you're pumping up, a couple of options. You can put your leash on, or you can strap this leash hook from the pump into that loop as well. Then attach your valves. Now, with the valves, we have a separate valve on the leading edge and the strut. I prefer to pump up the strut first. So we're going to open this out. Make sure your valve is screwed in all the way. I like to wind back a quarter of a turn with this, right? So you wind it back a quarter turn or half a turn so that when you lock it in, it doesn't twist the tube and make it jump out of the keys here. And you're going to pump up the strut first. Pump this up now. Now when you're pumping up for the very first time, get to a low pressure so it just starts registering on the gauge, and then check, have a look, make sure it's all seated, there's no wrinkles or crinkles. Strut first, then leading edge. Now we're going to pump this to pressure. We've got 9 on this wing. Right, there's 9 on the gauge. Disconnect this. Do your lid up. Now you don't need to make these ultra tight, just a firm finger tight is fine. Leading edge. Open this up, make sure your valve's screwed in, take the lid off. Leading edge on this wing is 8. So check these numbers. They're big and bold, you can't really miss them. Pump to the pressure. Now, exactly the same as the Strut. Get to a low pressure, it just starts registering on the gauge. Check that it's all even, there's no big like kinks or crinkles, which can be a sign of the bladder maybe twisting and shipping. So this one's all come out sweet. 90% of the time it's fine, but definitely check that at low pressure on first inflation. Now, we're gonna go all the way to 8. All right, 8 on the gauge. Make sure your valves are firm, finger tight on that. We're gonna disconnect our pump leash. When you're setting up, I prefer to do my wing last because there is a bit of risk of it blowing around. Hey, today we're shooting, there's no wind, but when there's breeze, your wing will blow around. It can flip over, it can blow onto things, foils, sticks, whatever. So we're on a nice grassy area. It's great not to get sand inside your valves, and stay away from sharp objects, trees, your foil especially. Make sure the wing's always on the downwind side of the foil, okay? Super critical. Try not to put your foil through your wing because that is not a great day. Okay, make sure you use a leash. Open that up, slip your wrist in. Let's go for a session. Ew. All right, you've had your session, you're ready to pack your wing up. Same as setting up, keep your wing downwind of your foil set up. Be aware it can blow around. Attach it so it's drifting downwind of any sharp obstacles. So flip it over on its back. That's the best way to have it attached to your board or a fixed object. It doesn't flutter around so much. The air pressure pushes it downwards, it doesn't get flighty. Kind of a simple trick is pack up everything else first and do your wing last so it has maximum time to dry. And when you get home, you can also hang it up if you want to dry it. It is better to store these dry, okay? They will last longer. The material is high-tech material and it's got a lot of coatings on it to maintain its durability over time. However, it does wear out faster if you pack it up wet. So try and dry your wing, pack it up last. Take your Velcro covers off. Doesn't matter which one you pop first. I generally will pop the leading edge first because sometimes I chuck this in my van. I got a van, so I just like to bundle it together like this and pop it in the van so it can dry. But if you're going to pack it up fully, obviously you're going to deflate the strut as well. So now for packing up, I like to push the air out of the strut first, start at the back, work your way forward. I can put one knee on it. Just be aware though, if you're not on gravel or something for this sort of job. Grass, sand, anything like that's fine, just not like sharp gravel. There's a couple of different ways you can roll it. If you're packing up for a flight, or when you really want to make it small, definitely rolling tip to tip is going to make it smaller. However, you end up with the other side rolling out. If you're in a rush, a little trick for rolling up the wing, instead of each tip, you can fold it in half and do both tips at the same time. So if you do this method, we've folded the wing in half, we're gonna roll both tips together, and that's just kind of quick. If you've been sessioning too long, you gotta get home for dinner or something. Okay, so pack this up, So you're rolling both sides, you kind of offset them a little bit, doesn't matter too much. Push the air out. Okay, now with the handle system, we have to bend it in half the opposite direction to where the handles are sitting. So the handles are here like this. We're going to pick it up in the middle and you're going to feel which way it wants to bend. Ready to put in the bag. Right, so you've got your wing folded in half. Get your bag fully open. Take your wing, it doesn't have to be super tight. Get one end nicely into the bag. Then I like to get the bulky bit into the top of the bag. And then the batons, you can give them another fold that way if you'd like. Get one side zipped. Take your time with the zips, don't cinch the fabric. The leash in there. That's it, ready to head home.